Hey guys, if you always wanted to be able to load multiple sound sets into your hardware WaveState with external samples or custom samples, then this might be interesting for you. I have already made a tutorial related to this topic a few years ago, but this time I felt like going much more into detail. A lot of you guys asked me whenever I load a new sound set of yours into my hardware WaveState, the previously loaded sound sets doesn't play anymore, or there are no sounds anymore of the other library. And is there a workaround? And the answer is yes, sure it is. So in this video I will give you examples how to combine multiple of my libraries for the hardware WaveState. And the cool thing is that this procedure is generally valid, so it also works with sound sets of other sound designers. Again, this procedure will only be necessary if you deal with a sound set that needs external samples or custom samples to load with the sample builder software. Okay, let's start from the top. Look, the first thing you want to do is you go to the receipt that you have received from Gumroad after purchasing my sound sets or my bundles, and click on this button right here. It says view content, and now you are redirected to the download page. Just click on download and the download will start immediately. If you have had some trouble with the installation, I would recommend to download the sound sets anew because I updated them. So that should be easier to install. You see, you have to do this for each sound set separately, of course. So after downloading the files from Gumroad, I would recommend to make a folder only for your WaveState libraries, like I did here, and extract the zip compressed files into this WaveState library folder. You see, these are all my separate sound sets or library folders. A really important thing is never change the structure of a folder, of a library folder. Otherwise, the sample builder cannot find the related multi-samples of the samples, which will lead to the sound bank not loading properly. So, very important. Okay, let's say I want to merge these three sound sets into one big sound set. So the first thing I do is I start, wait, let me look for the bank file. Where is the bank file? It's hidden. Ah, there it is. I start with loading the first complete bank. Just double click it and you see the sample builder opens, and now I go again to the file menu and click on add multi-samples. Now we go further to the next folder, the 80s Synthpop hits volume 1. Just let's look for the right library. There it is. And I select the first multi-sample in this library folder, and you see I'm working now on a Mac, and I just hold the shift button on the keyboard and I scroll down to the last visible multi-sample and select it. And you see now all the related multi-samples are selected, and I click open. So you see it just adds them to the existing library inside the sample builder. Let's do one more. Go to the file menu, click on add multi-samples, and we move ahead to the 80s Synthpop volume 2 right here. And again I will select the first multi-sample in this list, hold shift on the keyboard and select the last one. You see, each multi-sample is now selected, and again I press open. And you can see all the related multi-samples of our three libraries are imported now into the sample builder. Go to the file menu and click Save Bank As and give it a name. Maybe let's call it Custom Bundle 1 and press Save right then. I would save it to the top level of your libraries folder. And if you have now connected your hardware WaveState to your computer, just press Send Bank, and then all the multi-samples are sent to your WaveState. Of course, you can also save the bank for the plugin. If you're working with a native plugin, you can do the same, give it a name, and save the bank, save the Korg compiled bank. There is one thing that you have to keep an eye on, and that is the bank RAM size limit of 50 megabyte. So I guess that Korg has created this limit to protect the WaveState from overloading and to avoid dropouts. Simple as that. So always check that you are under these 50 megabytes. Another option is, if you are close to this bank RAM size limit, you can just import the multi-samples of maybe one song, one specific song. Wait, let me load another Soundset into the sample builder first. The Synthesizer Legends. Press open. Okay. One thing you can also do is, if you are close to the bank RAM size limit, you can try to load only the related multi-samples of a specific song that you want to be able to play, instead of loading a complete bank, you know, a complete Soundset. So in this case I import only the multi-samples of the song Our Friends Electric, you see. This is also a possibility, but after doing this, so after saving then the complete bank, the merged bank, I would just check if all the patches are working, because sometimes I used one multi-sample for different tracks. So just check the patches if they are still sounding and working. Sometimes if you add more multi-samples to an existing sample bank, you can get missing files warnings like this. Sometimes it doesn't have to, but it can happen that if you import multi-samples or add multi-samples to an existing bank, that you get an error message. Okay, let me show it to you. I select these multi-samples to add them to the Synthesizer Legends Korg bank. I press open, and look, now you get this missing file warning. You see, locate missing file, but all you have to do is just click on search folder and select the folder from which you wanted to import the multi-samples from. It's quite easy. And click on open, and that's it. You see, now he found the multi-samples, or he found the samples, and all the multi-samples are now inside the sample builder. The last thing actually you have to do is importing the performance patches into your WaveState or into the WaveState native. It just depends on what you are working with. I will demonstrate this with the WaveState native because I don't have a hardware WaveState right now here with me. But it's, like I said, exactly the same procedure. So in the WaveState native, make sure you are in the librarian mode, which is exactly the same in the editor librarian. And again, a recommendation, go to the file menu and click on export bundle of all user sounds, because that makes sure that you have a backup of all your own programs or sounds and do not erase something that you might regret later on. Now, there are two scenarios. The first one is if you have already imported my patches into the WaveState or the WaveState native and you want to update the patches, then do this. You see, just go into this collections area and select the Soundsets that you want to update. You see, I just click these or select these Soundsets and go into this field right at the top and make sure you have activated all data, because you want to update or you want to erase all the data first. Then click into this right field and hit select all on the keyboard, and now just delete them. And look, now we want to import the updated patches of my Soundsets. So for doing this, we go into the file menu, click on import, select the right folder, and let's check where we are. Yeah, right here. Go into the patches folder, and now we can make a fresh import of the WS bundle file. Click open, and that's quite easy. Look, now I have imported the 80s Synthpop Volume 1 Update 1.4 into the WaveState native. And of course you have to do this for each soundset separately unless you have purchased a bundle file, a bundle soundset, or a soundset bundle. And the second scenario is self-explaining. If you don't have any of my soundsets installed previously, wait, let me delete this and I can better show it to you. Yeah, just make sure you are in the librarian mode, click on import in the file menu and select the WS bundle file, click on open, and that's it. Quite easy as always. And once again, you will find all my soundsets in this collections area. Just click into this field and now go to the top and select performances. And the cool thing is now you only see the patches related to your selected soundset. That's quite cool, huh? Done. You've made it. Yeah! Guys, that's it so far from me for today. I hope you liked the video, and I wish you a great time exploring all these features related to creating a new bank with the sample builder, importing multi-samples, merging, first of all, merging different sound sets. And I hope to see you all in my new video, in my next videos.